How's it going, Nitrocytes? It is your boy, the Nitro General here, and I know, I just posted a video a couple hours ago, and I was like, well, there isn't going to be any official video tonight, whatever, I got busy, so I posted an update video. Well, here I am. It is currently 12:15, and, I am, for some reason, I cannot sleep tonight. I was so exhausted earlier, but I started watching some YouTube, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video. So, but I at this late, I'm like, I'm not gonna boot up Replica. I'm not gonna try to hook up anything fancy to do. So I was like, what video can I do this late at night? Well, I have been doing a lot of thinking recently, and trying to figure out what Pokemon, what Pokemon are truly my favorite, because I want to try to use a lot of Pokemon that I have never used before, or like used competitively, I should say. I've used pretty much every Pokemon and at least once in a playthrough. So I was thinking, I want to try to create a team of 6 of my favorite Pokemon diversely through. So I went through like all the Pokemon, not just the ones in the Galar decks, but just all the Pokemon in general. And I was like, you know what? I want to make a video on my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Now, a long time ago, I made a video going over my top 5 favorite Pokemon. This is when I just started getting back into YouTube, and when I started making Pokemon videos. And then I did another one that was like my second top 5 favorite Pokemon. So my other top 5, so 6 through 10 or whatever like that. So, yeah, but at that point, that was just all on a whim kind of thing. It was like, oh yeah, I love these Pokemon. This is the official my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Official, this is straight up my favorite Pokemon. My top 10 favorite Pokemon. I went through, weighed all the pros and the cons, so this is it. Officially. Now, before we get into the video, I do want to say there are 3 Pokemon that did not make it into this top 10 list that I want to give some love to, but they didn't quite make the cut. And the first one there is Machamp. Now, since I was a kid, my favorite Pokemon, I started on Gen 1, my favorite Pokemon was Machamp. I love the 4 arms, I love how hard he hit and everything like that. And then as I got older, I realized, I liked more other Pokemon better. But up until like Pokemon X and Y, Machamp was my favorite Pokemon. When somebody would ask me, what's your favorite Pokemon, I'd go Machamp all the way. But then, I started getting into competitive, and I started, in that point of my Pokemon career, I had like zero interest in battling. Like, I remember going online, seeing people that were like, battle anytime or whatever like that, and I was like, nah, I don't battle. I just want to collect them all and look at them. Like, I was not a battle person. Now that is like all I want to do is battle Pokemon, because it's so cool, strategy, everything like that. So I just wanted to give Machamp some love, because he is definitely in my top 15, but I feel like top 15 is going a little overboard, and top 5 is not giving enough Pokemon love, because there are over 1,000 Pokemon now. So I can't just be like top 10, just top 5 of those, because obviously there's more that I love. And the other one, or the next one I want to give love to, is Eevee. Now, Eevee was my favorite Pokemon after Machamp was. And then it moved later down the list, and actually to the number 10 spot on the list, because I love Eevee. I love how cute it is. It is still one of my favorite Pokemon, but unfortunately I don't think it makes it into the top 10. There actually is another really cute normal type, spoiler, that comes in at the number 10 spot that takes the place of Eevee. But and it also stems from the fact that when Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out, Eevee just got so popular, and I am one of those people that I love I love things, but when they get extremely popular, I tend to lose a lot of interest because I see it all the time, and it's just like, I don't know. Like, I've always been a huge fan of the band Panic at the Disco, and in the last few years, they have really risen in popularity, and their songs have become a lot more pop oriented. And I'm a hard rock fan, heavy metal fan, and like, I guess you could call it like emo or gothic, like punk music. That's the term I want to call it. And earlier in their music career, they were always punk, and then I think they moved more towards pop. And I cannot stand new pop. So really, the turning point for me was when they made the song with Taylor Swift, and I was just like, all right, I don't think I like him anymore. And that was the same thing that happened with Eevee when Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out. I was always like, well, Eevee's just so popular now, and everybody likes it, and I don't know, I still love Eevee, but it's just got so popular that it dropped in my favorite Pokemon list, but still, it's gotta get some love. And the last Pokemon in these three that are not in my top 10, there are no Galar Pokemon. There are no new Pokemon in my top 10. Probably because none of them have reached the point yet that they can make it in my top 10, because all the rest of them I've used for so long or whatever. There's no Sun and Moon or even X and Y Pokemon in there for that matter. But, yeah, but I don't think they have to make it in. But definitely this Pokemon would have made it into the top 10, except for the fact that I only like one of its forms, and that is Galarian Rapidash. I love Galarian Rapidash with a passion. I love it. It's my favorite new Pokemon and everything. But the regular Rapidash, I can't I can't see it. I like it, but it's got one of the best shinies, if not the best shiny in the game. But it didn't. Regular Rapidash wouldn't make it in my top 10 or even top 15. So that is why I had to boot Galarian Rapidash. But Galarian Rapidash is my new favorite Pokemon. The favorite new Pokemon, not new favorite Pokemon. Favorite new Pokemon. So yeah. So I had to mention that because I love Galarian Rapidash to death, but because I don't really care, or I don't love the original Rapidash, I didn't put it in this. So it is almost 8 minutes into this video, and we're finally getting into the first Pokemon. But I'm going to start with number 1 and work my way up. The first 3 are in a specific order, and then the next 2 are not in any specific order, and then the last 5 are in no specific order at all. So if you guys have been watching my channel for any point at all, if you've seen any other video of mine, then you probably can guess what my favorite Pokemon is, because I've said it 100 times. And for the longest time, I thought that I heard from tons of people that if you were a real Pokemon fan, like a real diehard Pokemon fan like I am, that you cannot have starter, mythical, or legendary Pokemon as your favorite Pokemon. And then, as I got a little bit older, I was like, well, you know what? A true Pokemon fan, a real Pokemon fan, can see the beauty in any Pokemon no matter what, unless it's Drampa. If you love Drampa, then you're just not a real Pokemon fan, because Drampa sucks. Just saying, just putting that out there. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I hate Drampa. Like, I hate it so much with a passion. It should never have been created as a Pokemon whatsoever, and I will not use it no matter if it's the best Pokemon in the game. But we'll just get past that. If you want me to make a top 5, top 10 most hated Pokemon, leave a like down below. I did a video like that a long time ago, but I think that a lot of that has dissipated because there are a couple Pokemon that I don't hate so much that were in that video. So yeah, so if you're a real Pokemon fan, then you can see the beauty in any Pokemon. And that is why this Pokemon has made it to the number 1 spot. And I've told the story a lot of times, so I will cut it a little bit short. But I got a shiny Torchic in Wonder Trade at the end of Pokemon X and Y. Like, just a few months before Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out. And I was like, well, I want to transfer this shiny Torchic over and use it on my Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire game when it comes out. Of course, I got the games when they came out, and I transferred over immediately, and I used it in my playthrough. And when it traded me, its name was Peppy Paul, and I feel like when Pokemon get traded to you that have nicknames or something, they tend to stick with you. So Peppy Paul evolved into a shiny Blaziken in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and it's been on every one of my teams in every game, and that's why I'm so hoping that they put Blaziken in the DLC. If they don't, I mean, it is what it is, but I'm just going to be extremely sad. But, I mean, that's what happens when you have a starter Pokemon as your favorite or a legendary. The chances of them being in the DLC are probably going to be lower, except for a lot of the legendaries made it into there, but yeah. So it looks like the only I think we might get the Johto starters. I heard about that, and then obviously we have the Kanto, the Galar, and the Alola starters. But I heard that we might be getting the Sinnoh starter, so maybe. But I would really just, I don't know. But so that's why in the number one spot it's just Blaziken. This Pokemon has been on every team. It hits so hard. It's one of my not my favorite mega, but one of my favorite megas. It is just so cool. And Peppy Paw has always been there. It'll literally be 8 years this year since I've had this on my team, this Pokemon, and the bonds that you make with just a bunch of coding is crazy to me. And to see him go from the X and Y graphics all the way to the Pokemon Home HD, and just seeing him in that gives me just a warm place in my heart. So that's why in the number one spot it is Blaziken. And again, if you've been watching my channel, you can probably guess what the number two Pokemon is. And again, because Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were big in my turning point of my Pokemon careers, when I started really shiny hunting, when I started really competitive battling and everything like that, another Pokemon moved in its ranks from that region, and that is Milotic. I love Milotic, and at the time it was a lot less popular than it is now, but there's no way Milotic's making out of the number two spot. It is such a beautiful Pokemon. I love the shiny, is so beautiful. I just think it's just a really majestic and beautiful Pokemon, and it's just, that's why it makes it to the number two spot, and there's no way that it would ever be kicked out. Coming in the number three spot is another Pokemon that I feel like not a lot of people love, and I don't understand why. Like, I don't even think it made it into the top 30 of the Pokemon of the year. Maybe it did. It probably did, but I just don't remember. And that is Ninetales, specifically Alolan Ninetales. But I love Ninetales in general. That's why, unlike Rapidash, I did make it into my top 5 because I love both forms, but I love the Alolan more. Ice Fairy is such a cool typing. I definitely think Fairy is one of the best typings in the game, if not the best. Either that or Steel, but I love, it's not my favorite. My favorite's Dragon type, but Fairy I think is competitively one of the best. But I love Alolan Ninetales. It doesn't have as good of a shiny as regular Ninetales. I mean, by the way, I have a perfect name for a shiny Ninetales, and that is Shinetails. And I feel very proud of that nickname, because that's what I've always named my shiny Ninetales when I got them, just because it's like the perfect name, and I love them. But I don't know, it's not the dog aspect, because I'm more of a cat person than I am a dog person, but don't tell my dog that, but yeah, I am. So I don't think it's the dog. It's either a dog or a fox. I don't know, because I think Vulpix is a fox, and then Ninetales is a dog. I'm not sure, or a fox. I'm not totally sure. Let me know what you guys think down below. But I love Ninetales. Ninetales is just such a majestic Pokemon. It's just so awesome. And then, so those three are my top 3 favorite Pokemon in that order. These next 2 are not in no specific order. And so coming in at the number 4 spot is definitely a Pokemon, both the number 4 and the 5 spot, are both Pokemon that I don't see getting a lot of love. And the first one is Crobat. Now, I think it stemmed from the fact that Zubat is so annoying in caves that it's just people are always like, I cannot stand Zubat. It's such a stupid Pokemon because it pops up in the caves all the time, and that drives a lot of hatred for that Pokemon. And then Crobat doesn't get a lot of love. But I used the Crobat in, I don't even know what playthrough it was. I can't remember. It might have been another playthrough of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire or X and Y, one of the two, I think. And I really, really got to love it. I love the sprites. I love the four wings. I don't know, what is it about Pokemon with like four that I really like? Because I love Machamp too with the four arms, but I don't know. But I just love that Pokemon. And the shiny is purely amazing, and I have a shiny one that I can't wait to transfer over called named Batsy. I don't know why, but I think I was watching an animated DC show and I heard Harley Quinn call um, Batman Batsy, so I was like, that's a good name for a Crobat. So that's why I named it that. But that's a really, really cool Pokemon, and I love how fast it is. It's super fast, and it doesn't hit hard, but it hits decently hard. And I love Crobat in general. So I don't know why, but it is. I just really, really like it. I've never been a huge Bat fan, but I like Batman. But I love Crobat. It's one of those Pokemon that there's nothing that stands out to why I love it so much, but I do. Just like with this next Pokemon, which why is coming at the number 5 spot, is Weavile. Weavile's also, Weavile's always been one of those Pokemon that's like, why do I like it so much? I don't know, but I do, and I wish it was better because it never learned a really, really good physical type ice type move, because there isn't very many physical type ice type moves except for like Icicle Crash. But I don't know, I've never been the biggest fan of ice types or dark types, but I love Weavile. I think the shiny is really, really awesome. A lot of these Pokemon might stem from the reason why their shinies are so cool, but I always saw Weavile kind of look like a ninja to me, and he was always super fast. And I think there was like an anime episode I saw him in where I was like, that is awesome. And another one of those Pokemon, just like Crobat, where I don't know why I love it so much, but Weavile is just such a cool Pokemon. And it hits hard and it's fast and it's really good competitively. So I definitely think it can be underestimated. The only reason why I didn't put one on my team is because I wasn't going to try to get the Razor Claw and everything. I was too lazy to try to do that. I know it's not hard. It's actually easier in this game than it is in the other, but I was like, I don't know. That's why I didn't put it on my team, but I was going to. But I just love Weavile. I can't put it why. And it was battling between Weavile and another Pokemon. The other Pokemon comes out at the number 6 spot, but it was between those two, and I just think I like Weavile a little bit more. But so that's why coming at the number 6 spot, the Pokemon that almost beat Weavile, it's a Pokemon that I know I've talked about on this channel before, but I don't know if I've ever really went into detail about why I like it, and that is Absol. Now, Absol is one of my favorite shinies, and is my favorite Mega Evolution. I mean, just that, the wings, I think the detail on the wings is so cool, and I love the hair that comes down over its eye, and it just represents like an angel of darkness to me, because it looks like an angel with the wings, but it's such a badass Pokemon. It's the Pokemon that always stood out to me, because I had this book when I was a kid. You guys probably, if you were like around the same age as I am, you probably had the same book when you were younger. It was a Pokemon like handbook or something. I know they've come out with a lot of new ones, but this one is the one that came out around Heart Gold Soul Silver. And inside of it, I remember the description for Absol said that this Pokemon only comes out when danger is imminent. So it was always just, like, people only see this when something bad's gonna happen. So it was like a reaper, something that came to tell people, hey, you're gonna die, something like that. And that was always so badass and so cool. And I love the blade that comes out of its head, the singular blade. And that's why, like, whenever I get an Absol in the game, I have to teach it Psycho Cut, because it seems like it's such a perfect move for it, even though it doesn't do that much damage because it's not stab. But I just love Absol, and I love the Angel of Darkness Mega Evolution. I've always named my Absol as Reaper, and I love red's my favorite color, as you can see by the wall behind me. But that's why I love how the blade, when it becomes shiny, turns this shade of red. And I don't know, I just loved that Pokemon so much. And it didn't quite beat Weavile, and I think that's just because it's not as good competitively. But Absol is so cool, and there may be a time when it surpasses Weavile, but as of right now, Absol's gonna have to take the number 6 spot. So coming in at the number 7 spot is another Pokemon that a lot of people like, and I was always like, I gotta, I gotta have this Pokemon in here, and that is Lapras. I've always loved Lapras too. Again, has an amazing shiny. I think the only Pokemon that I've talked about so far that doesn't have an amazing shiny is Blaziken, but I love shiny Lapras. I think the purple is really cool. I didn't end up getting one in Pokemon Let's Go though. As easy as it is to get shiny Pokemon in that game, I had terrible luck getting a shiny Lapras. But I love Lapras. I don't know. It probably stems from the fact that my father is or was a firefighter, and I remember reading another Dex entry that said something about Lapras helping firefighters with people out in sea drowning and stuff like that. And I remember I had a card, and I gave it to him, and he went and he put it in his locker at work, and it was a Lapras card because of that fact, and he kept it in there up until the day that he retired, and then he ended up giving it back to me or something. I don't remember if he gave it back or if I told him to keep it or something like that, but that's probably what it stems from. And I think Lapras is a super cool Pokemon, and I really like it. I can't explain it, but yeah, so that's why Lapras takes the number 7 spot. So coming in at the number 8 spot is a Pokemon that is only my favorite purely because it's based on my favorite Pokemon, or my favorite animal. And the only thing that I can grab around here, like I can show you guys, like over there, I have a lamp, and you can't really see it from there, but the lamp is there's an animal on it that I've always loved. I cannot give an explanation to why I love it, but I have a statue right here by my fish tank, and they're eagles, and I have other eagles like everywhere in my room. I love eagles. I don't know why, but I do, and they were always so majestic and cool, and that's why coming at the number 8 spot is the Pokemon based off an eagle, and that is Braviary. Braviary, however you say it. It's a dope Pokemon, and I don't know. I mean, it's not the coolest design, but it's based off an eagle, and I've always loved that, because up until that point, there was no Pokemon that was based off an eagle. So, I don't know. I love Braviary. Again, has a great shiny. The blue is really cool. I definitely don't like the flying spray as much in any of the games that it's been in, but I can't just not like it. I mean, Braviary is such a cool Pokemon, and I enjoy having one on my team in Pokemon Sword and Shield because those other Pokemon weren't on there. So, but yeah. So coming in at the number 9 spot is another Pokemon that I was surprised to see in Pokemon Sword and Shield because I didn't think it was as popular as it was, and that is Dusknoir. Now, Dusknoir has never been a Pokemon that I've talked much about on this channel that I like so much. I don't know why I like it so much. I love ghost typings. That's like my second favorite typing, and he's really bulky, and I love like the face on his stomach. The other Pokemon on this list that does, actually the last one doesn't have a great shiny either, but this one Dusknoir doesn't have a great shiny, but I think Dusknoir is really, really, really cool. Again, it's not great competitively, but it is definitely just one of the coolest Pokemon in Sword and Shield, and I don't know, I've always loved Dusknoir. Again, another Pokemon that I had on my Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire team that is probably the reason why I like it so much, it's because it's on there. And yeah, and probably because it stemmed from me playing through the game and having a Duskull and getting a shiny Duskull after I beat the game, and replacing the one on my team with that. And And yeah, I guess I don't. I guess that's like my best explanation is because I've used a Pokemon so many times that it definitely becomes a favorite. But actually the other two are not in my top 10. They'd be in my top 15, but not in my top 10. So the worth mentioning is Metagross and Salamence. Another two Pokemon from that region, but not in my top 10. Metagross was really, really close. It was either Metagross or Dusknoir, but I had to go with Dusknoir just because I really, really like it. And I'm really excited that Metagross is going to make it into the game. Let's just hope that Salamence and Blaziken do too. Otherwise, I'll just stick with Ninetales as my fire type. But yeah, so Dusknoir definitely comes in at the number 9 spot. So coming at the number 10 spot and rounding it off, the Pokemon that kicked Eevee off the team. And a lot of people will be like, how did you like this Pokemon more than Eevee? I have never heard one person in my entire life say that they liked this Pokemon. I've never heard somebody say they hated it. It's such a forgettable Pokemon, but it hasn't been for me because, as you guys know, I do not like Pokemon Black and White as much as any other Pokemon game. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pokemon Black and White and Black and White 2 are the worst Pokemon games, in my opinion, but they're still better than any other game I've ever played. So, they may be my least favorite, but they're not bad games. They're just, I don't know. I talk more about it in the tier list episode that I did going over the Pokemon games, so go check that out if you want to know more. So, there are a few Pokemon that I really like from that generation. You know, for example, not Yamper, for example, Yamper. No, for example, Reinculus, I don't even know how you say that. That was almost the top 10, the 10th spot. Haxorus and Darmanitan are some of my favorite Pokemon from that region. But my favorite Pokemon, by far, from that generation, and somehow beat out Eevee, is Chinsino. Now, I think that's how you say it, Chinsino. The little, like, mouse Pokemon that's got, like, the hair that come down around it. I don't know why, but it's such a cute Pokemon. And Minccino is such a cute little rat squirrel Pokemon, but Chinsino is so elegant. Now, I don't know why. It's just because of how cute it is, I guess, is why I like it. It is not good in battle. It is not good competitively. It learns trash for moves. I wanted to put one on a competitive team in Sword and Shield, and I went and I looked. It literally does not learn anything good. It doesn't get Follow Me. It doesn't get Metronome. Literally doesn't get anything. I know Metronome's not good, but I was looking to do a Metronome team just to try to go through it competitively, and I was like, oh, Minccino can probably learn that. Nope, it cannot for some reason. And I don't understand why I like this Pokemon so much. Nobody really likes it because it's not a good Pokemon, but it's just one of my favorite Pokemon. And no matter how many times I'm like, yeah, I like other Pokemon more, I always come back to Cinccino, and I'm like, I guess I just really like that Pokemon. So somehow, coming in at the number 10 spot and rounding off this video is Cinccino. But, sorry, I'm just checking the time because I'm like, how long have I been recording? And I think I spent like 15 minutes, I was like, I don't know if I should make a video. And then I'm like, I'm gonna make a video. And then I spent 28 minutes making a video. So, but I really, really hope you guys enjoyed. So you do get a video today. So there'll either be one video either Thursday night or Friday night, or there'll be one on both nights. It just depends on timing wise and everything like that. So if you like this video, if you want to see another video like this going over my top 10 least favorite Pokemon or something like that, which I still may end up making or something, let me know down below because, you know, that'd be kind of cool. But slap a like on this video because I definitely think this video would get a lot less hate than a video where I just bash on somebody's favorite Pokemon. I already bashed on Drampa because you guys know Drampa is my least favorite Pokemon. I hate it so much. Like, it literally gets me fired up thinking about it. But, alright guys, so I really, really hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to get this video done and uploaded for you guys so you can check it out in the morning or if you're still up at this late hour. But other than that, guys, I really, really hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said at the end of every video, I will see you in the next video. So Nitro General out. Peace.